right on the floor was the piece of finger that came out. Before I even start, I just want to really apologize for the bad lighting because I am using Jesus lighting and it's really fluctuating, like the sun is coming and going, so I'm really sorry. Bear with me. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if it's your first time being here. Hi, my name is Leah, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already subscribed. Without wasting much of your time, for today's video I decided to do a story time and tell you guys a story of how I lost part of my finger and how it grew back. And I actually do have all the pictures and everything that happened, so if you are interested in seeing all that stuff, I'll do that at the end because I don't want to put that in between, because there's some people who really just don't like seeing blood and things like that, so I don't want to inconvenience you if you're those types of people. So I decided to put up all the pictures towards the end of this. So this happened early this year in January. Didn't even happen a long time ago. It was January 22nd. I remember it vividly because how can I forget? Yeah, it was January 22nd and it was a Tuesday. I was having my exams, so I was writing my exam. It was a regular day, honestly. I basically got to the room and I decided to prepare something to eat. So I was preparing something to eat. I decided to wash my dishes. So while I was still preparing my food, I left my food like on the stove cooking, and I got my dish which had like a few dishes on. I wanted to go and wash outside. I was holding the dish on my left hand side because it was small and it wasn't even heavy. I was walking out of the room and I was trying to close the door, but at the moment I was trying to close the door, actually, let me say this first. January is winter and winter can be really windy sometimes. Yeah, so January this year, if you can recall, in Algeria, if you're in Algeria, of course, it was really windy. Yeah, so basically, this day was windy too, and
our windows were open.
the windows in the room were open. Yeah, so right at the moment I was closing the door, the wind blew, and I wasn't holding the door by the handle. I was holding the door by the side, that side of the door that hits the door frame when it closes. And then when the wind blew, it practically pushed the door. So it's like the door had to close with force. And you guys, this wasn't like little wind. The wind was strong. It was a strong wind. I don't even understand where it came from. When the wind blew, it banged the door and my hand was still holding that part of the door. It was a bang that even up to now I somehow still hear it in my ears. So like when the door banged, I knew that it had banged on my fingers, and for me it just felt like it was normal. Like the pain I felt wasn't like extreme pain. You know how there are usually these accidents where the door just bangs on your fingers. Maybe you were trying to go out, trying to close the door or something, and then like it's normal, it's just like, oh my god, ouch, it's pain. I thought it was that actually. So I just felt that normal pain, like, oh my god, the door banged on my fingers. Yeah. And since I was holding my dish on one side, now I was like about to go. So I decided now to hold the dish with both hands because now both my hands were free. When I like decided to reach out with my other hand to hold the dish, then I saw blood on the floor and I was like, where did that come from? So I decided to look at my hand because I think I was feeling some sort of pain. And you know how like when you hurt yourself, you don't feel the pain until you see the blood, then you feel the pain. That was basically what happened to me there. Because like my hand wasn't feeling really painful. It was a weird feeling. I can't necessarily say strong pain or what, but it felt really cold. It felt frozen. Like it felt really frozen. And when I looked at my finger and then I discovered that part of the finger wasn't there. And I was like, what? Like I was shocked. I didn't believe what I was seeing, honestly. I was like, no. It's not happening. Have you ever fallen down as a grown up and then you just feel like you're dreaming and you just feel like somebody should wake me up? Am I dreaming? Because this is not happening. That's how I felt at that moment. I felt like, wait, is this a dream or what? Like, somebody balance me. I'm not understanding what's going on. And I looked and part of my finger wasn't there. So I put my dish down and I decided to walk back into the room. So I opened the door and right on the floor was the piece of finger that came out, and I was like, what? I was shocked. At this point, I wasn't even crying yet. Like, I was just really shocked and I was traumatized because, you know, like such things where somebody's body part comes out and it's on the floor, it's where we only see these things in horror movies, honestly. Like, okay, for me, that was the first time I ever saw such a thing happen live. And the worst part is that it happened to me. It was a part of my body that was lying on the floor, and I was in shock. I remember I froze because I couldn't even believe what was happening. So, but then I had a roommate, so I called out to my roommate and I was like, my finger cut. And then she's like, what do you mean? Like she couldn't understand. She's like, what do you mean? So I'm like, it's cut, it's here. So I put it in my hand and I was like, it's cut, it's here. And then like I could see she was also like shocked and she couldn't understand or like believe what was going on. And I was just standing, like I didn't know what to do, if it's to cry, if it's to what, I didn't know. And then she decided to give me some cotton wool to like hold to the finger so that as the blood is coming out, it can be getting sucked. Because it was bleeding, it was dripping blood. And at that point, I realized, I was like, wait, what? It's my right hand and I am having exams. Like at that point, it actually hit me. Then I cried. I don't even know why I'm laughing, you guys, but actually thinking about that, I kind of laugh nowadays. Yeah, but and I was like, no ways, I'm going to fail. Because how am I going to write? How am I going to write my exams now? Like, I can't. Yeah, so my roommate helped me put on like a jumper, and I remember I was wearing sweatpants, and then she got my other friend. Then yeah, they both took me to the hospital. Then even when I was going out, I had even stopped crying, but in my head I was just thinking about how I was going to feel. In that moment, the finger was the least of my worries. I didn't even care what would happen, like if it would grow back, or if it would ever heal, or if it would just like be lame, because my main concern was my exams. So then after we went to the hospital, because it was like an emergency type thing, so yeah, we went to like the casualties section. We stayed at the hospital for like an hour 30 minutes or so before I got treated. They just really took long to treat me. So while I was actually at the hospital, I really didn't want to worry my parents, so I didn't call them immediately it happened. I wanted to tell my parents after I was already done with everything, like hospital and stuff, and I was at home, but I just thought to myself that it wasn't right for me not to tell my parents. I called my mom and I was like, Mommy, I'm at the hospital. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, my finger cut. She's like, what do you mean your finger cut? And I was like, it's cut, as in she thought it was like maybe I was cooking and then like I accidentally cut it, but like not cutting whereby it came out. She just thought it like cut, you know, just like a cat, a normal cat. Yeah. So and she's like, what do you mean? Then I was like, as in it's cut, part of it is not there anymore, it's out. And then like okay, I don't even know why I'm laughing. This is not funny. I like to make jokes out of everything, that's the problem. But anyways, so I told her, and then I could hear her, she was like shocked. Like I could hear her feel the pain from her voice, and like at that moment she couldn't even talk to me anymore. Like she just started crying, and my dad got the phone and he was like, what happened? Then I explained to him like, my finger cut. Then he's like, how did your finger cut? So like I tried to explain like, oh, it was by the door, and nobody understands how the door cut my finger. Honestly, even I don't understand how the door managed to cut my finger, because how? A door. It's a door. First of all, my dad doesn't normally say a lot of things, but at this point he was actually speechless, and I was like, oh my god. And it was just really sad, and I was like, no, I'll talk to you later, because I didn't want to keep talking to them, because when I was talking to them I actually got emotional, and then I started to cry also, and like the more they're hearing me cry, it's like the more they're feeling bad, and I just didn't want that. So I was like, okay, let me just continue with the hospital stuff. I'll talk to you when I'm at home. So like I didn't think to carry the other piece of my finger that like came out. So okay, honestly, even at the hospital they didn't ask for it, so I don't think it's possible that they could have attached it back, because the bone didn't break on like a joint. The bone was broken into half, so it's like you can't attach a bone that's like broken in half back unless maybe if it was a joint. So at the hospital they had to like stitch, because now it was like open, so they had to like stitch one end to the other, like back together, so that the skin can close. I think I was given like about 7 injections, yeah, around my hand and around the finger itself. so that I couldn't feel the pain when they were stitching it and stuff. So then they stitched me. I was actually watching everything and it was so nasty, but yeah, it was nasty, but I wanted to look. I remember they kept telling me not to look, but I was interested, so I wanted to see what was going on. Afterwards, they prescribed some medicine for me. I had to go home. They actually gave me a justification. I don't know. Oh, a justification. I thought I forgot that word in English. They gave me a justification to take to school so that I could miss my exams and maybe write them at another time. But honestly, I didn't want to miss my exams. I just told myself, you know what? No fucking way. Whether I am sick, whether I can't write, whether I can't do anything, I'm going to write those exams. I just did not want to sit in my bed knowing that the devil defeated me and now I can't write my exams. I didn't want to have that. No. So I told myself, I was like, even if I go to write my exams and I fail, at least I still went to write. So yeah. Actually, when I got back from the hospital, the medicine from the injections I was given to like stop the pain was still working, so I couldn't feel the pain for some part of when I got home. Then it actually started hurting at some point. Like it was bad. And I could feel my heart beating from my hand. I could feel my heart beating from my finger, and like it was like I don't even ever want to relieve that pain, you guys. It was pain I have never felt before in my life. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know how or where to put my hand or sleeping. It's like I put it on top of the pillow, or maybe I put it outside the blanket. It was just a lot of pain. I didn't even know what to do, you guys. It was just painful. I didn't even manage to study for that exam. I remember I went to my friend's room. I told her to try and explain for me, because like myself, I couldn't study. Whenever I'm looking at my book, I was just traumatized. Yeah, then we did a little bit of studying together, but honestly, I wasn't even paying attention. Because me, my mind was just my finger. I am lame. I will fail. Yeah, but the next day I went to write my exam and I failed it badly, pathetically actually. I failed it so bad. And all the other exams after that, honestly, I never studied for those exams. It was so hard for me to study because the thing was really painful. It's like even if I want to take my mind off it, I can't take my mind off it because it was just so painful. My whole hand was swollen, like the whole hand was swollen. I couldn't do anything with this hand. I had to become a lefty all of a sudden. Most of my exams actually after that I used my left hand to write because my right hand couldn't do anything. I know most people were giving me advice like, oh, you can use the other fingers, like you can use the rest of the fingers, and I'm like, bruh, you don't know what I'm going through, because you know how fingers work together. It's like if one moves, everything else moves. So even if I decide to use all the other fingers, they would still move the one that's in pain if it's painful. So I just wasn't doing anything with this hand. I had to like bath myself because I would like put this hand up in the air and then I have to like bath with one hand. And I struggled, you guys. I really struggled. Like I was almost dormant. People had to do like things for me because I couldn't do anything. Like if I get out of my bed, I'll just like stretch it with like one hand and then just go. I was practically inactive for like 2 to 3 weeks before they finally took my bandages out. And I used to go to the hospital for like cleaning and checkup like every after a day. It used to be painful. Like if you've ever had a wound, you know the pain of having to take out your bandage and then it's stuck to the to like the sore and then they have to take it out, you guys. So it was just really painful, you guys. I have all the pictures even of the times when I used to go and get cleaned at the end. So if you want to see all that stuff, just keep watching. I remember actually I asked at the hospital, I was like, how long is it going to take for me to get healed? And they were like, it will take about 3 to 4 months. And I was like, what? So I was practically open-minded to the fact that it will take me 3 to 4 months to get healed, but it actually didn't even take that long for me, because after the thing happened, I was told to go back to the hospital after 15 days. So when I went back to the hospital, my doctor was like, you're the one who came like that day. And I'm like, yes, it's me, finger girl. Like he was shocked. Like, how is your finger healing so fast? It's only been 15 days. And I'm like, I also don't know. My finger was healing really quickly, and like in about a month and a half it was almost like completely healed. And you guys, I don't know if I can say the most amazing or the most shocking part of it is, if I remember, the doctor actually told me, because I once asked that, I was like, so will it grow back or what's gonna happen? He was like, no, normally your skin from one end to the other will just attach and yeah, maybe you have like a tiny little nail grow on it, but yeah, it won't be fascinating. Like it won't look the way it normally would. And honestly, I was open-minded to that, and I was just like, okay, cool, you know, I'll be lame. I'll probably tell my children I once had a normal finger, but yeah, life happened and now I have this type. But that's not even how it happened. Like when it was healing, I could see my nail growing back, and then the skin behind the nail, you know, there's like this flesh skin behind the nail. It was also like healing together, and the nail in front of it was like growing back. I honestly did not understand what was going on, and I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm really excited to see how this finger is going to look. And you guys, even when people see my finger right now, they're like, no, it's not that one, it's the other one, show me the other one. And I'm like, no, the other one is okay. Like this is the real one, and this is the one that got damaged. Okay, you can see the difference when I put them together. It's not focusing, but yeah, if you can see them together, you can see the difference. But this is the one that was damaged. This is the finger that was damaged, and you can't even see anything. Like when I show people who didn't know what happened to me in the beginning, they're like, it probably wasn't even that bad. When I show them the pictures, then they're like, how did it even heal like that? And I honestly don't know, but guys, God is a miracle worker. Like miracles do happen. I honestly believe that my finger growing back to its normal state is really a miracle, because the other part of the finger is still alive. I took it home. I kept it from like January to, I went home in August. I just wrapped it in foil paper, and yeah. I'm a creep, I know. Yeah, I took it home. I gave it to my mom. I don't know if my mom threw it away, but she's still keeping it, but I know that the finger still exists. Yeah, so that's practically how it happened. Yeah, so now I'm going to insert the pictures, and I will do a voiceover to like walk you guys through the whole thing, the stage of its healing, and when what picture was. Yeah, so if you're a person that is afraid of blood, or you just don't like to see bloody stuff or like fleshy stuff, okay, it's honestly not that bloody and or in that fleshy, but yeah, I just don't want to inconvenience anybody or just make you see things that you don't want to see. So if you are those people who don't like to see such, this is the part of the video where you can go, but I really love you to stay still and just see, you know. But anyways, so yeah, so this is the day it happened, right after the accident, and this is the piece of finger that came out. This was 2 days after the accident. Went to change my bandages. This was just me with a swollen hand and a bandage on. This was I don't know. This was when I went for my 15-day appointment. This was just another day, I guess. Yeah, this one too. This was, I think, 1 month later. Yeah. This was also a month later. This was also a month later. And this was March 3rd. Yeah, completely healed. And this is how it was looking from the front. Yeah, and this is my finger today, my pinky. That's the one. So guys, that's basically my story of how I lost part of my finger and how it grew back. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much if you stayed to watch this video all the way to the end. I really appreciate you, and don't forget to share this video with anybody who you think may need to see it, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you are watching this video and you aren't subscribed. Please subscribe to my channel. And once again, I am really sorry about the bad lighting. I wish I could do something about this Jesus lighting, but I can't, and I'm really sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.